Hi everyone, Casey Getz, pleased to be joined now by Mike Rhodes, the head coach of the Eastside Spartans, getting ready for his 8th season as the head coach there in Coburn. First off, how was your summer? Do anything fun?
We had a good, 2-week vacation, and other than that, we've just been grinding.
All right, speaking of grinding, last year you guys had your best season since you've been there, 11-2. You lose in the region championship game to Rye Cove. How did that loss, if at all, motivate you guys for this offseason?
I told you a story before we came in about, I tried to give them some time off, and they sent me pictures from the weight room saying they're ready to go. So they didn't take any time off. They used that to motivate them and go from there. And it hasn't been any time since then. They've been working hard and just really getting after it.
Offensively, you have quite a formidable duo there. You had a freshman quarterback last year, Landon Pinnell, sophomore running back, Keldon Hamilton, both back. What does that do from a coaching perspective and from a confidence-wise for your team? You have those two coming back, and they're both still underclassmen.
It's big for us because they know the system. They know what to expect. They know what to expect schedule-wise and teams that we play and our expectations of them and what they need to do. And now they're transforming into leaders of the program, even though they're just a junior and a sophomore. But they're both leaders. They're both leaders in the weight room. And like I said, it's another year in the system to where they're not learning the system. And so we expect big things out of both of those guys.
What are your expectations for your team this year? What are you guys capable of if you play to your capabilities?
Well, I think everybody has the same expectation and goal for the end of the season, and hopefully we can find a way to get ourselves there. But it's not going to be an easy task. Region D proved last year that it's a pretty tough region. And so we're going to have some battles, and we're going to have to come out and prove every Friday that we belong. And hopefully we can do that. But, our goals are big, and I think that they've worked hard enough to have those goals. Now we just got to go out and do it.
Last year you lost twice, both to Rye Cove, both at their place. This year we will see you on Friday Night Rivals, October the 10th, when you host Rye Cove. How pivotal will that be, having that game at your stadium?
They have a really rowdy fan base. That community really supports them. It's a great atmosphere for a football game. Our playoff game, there were people everywhere. And, for the kids to get to play in that, it's really good. They made it hostile for us, just like any home team should. And hopefully we can do the same this year at our place. But, I know they'll be there, we'll be there. And it's turned into a great game for both communities. And, last 2 years in the playoffs, they've knocked us out by less than a score. So, hopefully, we can come out on top this year and the ball bounces our way. But it's gonna be a battle.
When the schedule comes out, I mean, to me, that was one I wanted to see when Eastside and Rye Cove are playing. Is that something you guys do when that schedule comes out? Like, when's that game going to be? Is that one that's circled on your calendar?
I think they're all. We have several that are kind of circled. But that one is just because of what happened last year. That was our only 2 losses, and they came out on top, and they outplayed us for 4 quarters there. So at the end of the night, we want to try to get that back, from last year. But I think our district kind of does it every year if we play them in the same spot. So we know when it's going to be. But that's definitely going to be a big one for our district.
Certainly that Rye Cove game in October. You start the season a day earlier than everybody else, most schools. You're going to play on a Thursday night against Central. How cool is that to have it kind of a night to yourself to open the season on a Thursday?
That's kind of what we looked at, right there, kind of a in-county game. And what we know Wise will bring a lot of people, and, we'll have our support from our communities. And it'd be cool just to be the only show in town, So hopefully a lot of people come out and watch, and it should be a good ball game.
All right, that is Mike Rhodes, head coach of Eastside. 11 wins last year for the Spartans. We'll see what they can do in 2025. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.